So today we have one more nugget on this week's hot news, which is Facebook's IPO. One of the big risk factors in that IPO relates to these, and how more and more people are using these rather than the big screen computers. Rob, tell us what's happening here.
Well, about half of Facebook users now look at Facebook on their phones,
right.
And especially young kids, they don't even bother with the PC, and
right.
overseas they don't bother as well.
Right.
And that's fine for Facebook. The problem is advertisers don't advertise on mobile phones pretty much nowadays.
Right.
Facebook
and when they do, they don't pay so much.
Exactly.
Right.
Facebook essentially makes no revenue right now. That'll change over time. Eventually it'll change, and eventually it'll be. The similar thing happened when people first started going to the internet.
Yep.
Advertisers didn't know how to do this, and they already made their budgets. So like, okay, we'll put money
right.
towards television, but what's this internet? We'll figure it out next
right.
year, type of thing.
So the risk to Facebook's revenue growth is that if everybody shifts to mobiles, the revenue per ad per person is just way less. But this is more than just a Facebook problem.
Yeah,
right?
it's affected several companies, like Pandora, for instance. If Pandora actually could get the same amount from mobile that they get from PCs,
right.
they'd actually look pretty reasonable, the stock. As it is, it looks incredibly expensive when you look at the stock, just based
right.
on a PE multiple.
And this is also a big competitive area, right? Google's trying to figure this out. Mm-hmm. Facebook's trying to figure this out. Who knows? Somebody else could actually be the guy who figures this out.
Sure, of course it could. But that's almost like a temporary thing, because in a couple of years they'll figure it out. It could hit revenue meantime, but in a couple of years they'll figure it out. The bigger danger is that, as Facebook admits, they don't control the operating system. Apple and Google
right.
Control the operating systems
right.
that most smartphones use. And that can act as a choke point. If you think about it, mobile, maybe Facebook doesn't load quite so fast in Android phones, or maybe Google Plus automatically, opens beautifully and everything works
right.
really well on phones. And then people say, the kids say, I'm not going to bother using Facebook, I'll just use Google Plus. Of course, there's some problems in that, because antitrust authorities would
right.
Dust off their Microsoft.
They'd be pretty quick onto that, you'd think.
Yeah, but then again, it's for a multi-billion-dollar market, companies are kind of tempted to play a little dirty.
Okay, we'll leave it there. We'll keep a close eye on Facebook's IPO, and we'll have more breaking views next week.